Well, this morning, Casey Palmer, a black father of two, is joining us to talk about how the pandemic and how the public conversations around racism and police violence are affecting black dads across the country. Casey Palmer, welcome to your morning.
Thank you very much, Amory. How are you?
I'm doing all right, but I'm interested in how you're doing this morning. You've described a tiredness that comes with being black in Canada, a kind of exhaustion. Can you explain that for me?
Yeah, of course. Everything being on the forefront for black issues these days, it's alerted everyone to so many systemic issues that the black community has been facing. But we've been facing it for so long that we have grown tired over the years and decades of having to deal with these issues. So I think we're not so much numb, but now just exhausted from it happening over and over again.
Because of the lockdown, most spaces involving gatherings have been closed. What spaces are you missing, and where are black fathers finding support right now?
It used to be the restaurants and, gathering spots I'd have with friends that I'd usually frequent on a regular basis. As times moved on, and the economy started bouncing back a little, it's less the food and more the people, and being able to, give the handshakes and hugs and everything like that. So we're finding each other, and we're talking, and we're having those conversations to make sure that we're in touch with each other and addressing each other's mental health through all this. But it's a lot of conversations we might not have had otherwise, which is helpful.
Yeah, Black Daddies Club, which is an organization based here in Toronto, describes some of those spaces: barbershops, gyms, faith-based spaces. Those are where black men often went for support, and those spaces are mostly all closed. So when you're having the conversations now, either digitally or on the phone, what are you talking about?
We're talking about it's interesting because there's so much happening in the last few weeks when it comes down to black issues, but for us it's more now that we're on a pedestal or in the forefront, how do we deal with all that attention? And you get a lot of coworkers who will ask to make sure that you're doing okay, or you'll have friends who are concerned, but amongst ourselves it's a different conversation of, hey, we've already been in this space, how do we deal with all this newfound attention that perhaps we didn't expect?
The images of violence and, in some cases, murder of black men are all over media. You have two sons. We just showed a picture of them, Isaiah and Xavier, 4 and 6. Your kids are still very young, but what kind of conversations have you had with them about racism?
Well, they're highly aware that I'm black. They don't quite know what their mother is or what they are. So really, it's about their identity and being able to tell them that, we love them for whoever they are, but in the world out there, it might not be the same thing. We haven't really flagged to the dangers that come with being black in North America, but we do want them to be cautious and aware so they can make informed decisions. So it's an evolving conversation that's happening over time.
We've been talking a lot about allyship in this country in the last couple of weeks in particular, and how non-black people can support. There was a quote I wanted to read to you. It says black men are essentially stuck alone with images on TV showing violence play out on black bodies that look like us. So you mentioned a tiredness and an exhaustion. How can non-black Canadians help black fathers specifically in terms of support?
Yeah, well, I think one of the big things we've learned from this entire issue is that people outside the black community didn't really understand what it means to be black and the things we go through. So I think we're in a listening moment right now where the things that each black person is going to need is going to be very different. But if you're there to listen and be open to hearing those narratives and being able to support by just lending an ear and then seeing where that evolves to, I think that's better than any particular action we can take right now.
Casey, just before I let you go, I know that you are a father, too, to two beautiful boys. Where do you see your role as a mentor within the black community right now?
I want to make sure that for my boys, I can show them that they can be, anything they want. They'll have to face certain issues that they'll have to overcome over time. And also, if I can, be a good representative myself of what can be done if you put your mind to it, and I can show my sons that as well. Hopefully that trickles down to others who can see the same effect.
Casey Palmer, good to have you with us today, and happy early Father's Day to you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.